Dance Life is sponsored by Expo.
Yay, Expo!
Yay, Expo!
Hi everyone, I'm Annemarie Davies, and you're watching Pole Dance Life with United Pole Artists. It's May 5th, 2012, and as promised, I'm at Bobbi's Pole Studio. I'm actually at a new location called Bobbi's Gold in Midtown Sydney. I get to interview Bobbi and talk to her about all of the wonderful things that she's done in the world of pole. I'm very excited to be here, and I can't wait to sit down with this amazing lady. I would like to introduce you, Bobbi. Hi.
Hi, thank you for coming all the way to Australia.
There's nowhere else I want to be right now, trust me.
So flattered, thank you.
So this is your new studio, Bobbi's Gold.
Yeah, I've just opened this, actually just this week. We've just opened. It's been a long time coming, and it's only small. I've only got 10 poles, but I'm just catering for advanced classes, which is, I think, where I wanted to go for many years, and now I've sort of realised the dream. I'm really happy.
So you have other students that have been beginner and or intermediate, and then they sort of graduate to this location?
Yeah.
So this is your 6th location?
Yeah, so.
Yeah. Is this a dream come true for you?
Yeah.
Well, it's really beautiful and it's cozy, and I like how there's so many sparkly things. But let's get to some very important questions. Well, first of all, United Pole Artists named you Pro Polar of the Year for 2012, and that's because we just adore you. And we noticed that you got a lot of attention when that happened. We weren't expecting that ourselves. You had some outside attention for that. Will you tell us about that?
I had lots of attention from it, actually. I think it has a lot to do with United States to Australians is still sort of the mecca. So when they heard that I was presented something from overseas, from America, that was massive. If I said I got it within Australia, I'd go, but to the Australian media, they're like, wow, this girl's some kind of Madonna. You know, it was massive. So they jumped on it straight away, and I just got press coming left, right and centre, and just got interviews and stories and TV and everything, which is, I think, the most media I've ever had, thanks to you guys. So it was massive for Bobbi's Pole Studio too.
You know that Americans consider Australia the mecca.
It's flattering,
right?
that we both feel the same way about each other. It's not competitive in any way. It's like, oh, but they're huge, they're our idols, and you're saying the same to us.
I would like to talk about you as a showgirl in Japan and what that experience was like for you and how that impacted your career today.
I wouldn't be where I am today if I hadn't have been in Japan, and I think I ended up in Japan by default. I don't think I was supposed to be. My sister went there first. Because she runs the Bobbi's, Kim, that's right. And I was very miserably at university, not having a good time, wondering why I was there. And then, but I'd already had dance training, and she basically called and said, well, you know, drop out of uni and come to Japan and dance. Out of uni. Went to Japan, stayed there for 7 years. So I got into chorus. It worked in big cabaret shows and stuff, travelled around Japan, working in the hotels. It was massive back then, in the early 90s, late 80s. The cabaret shows in the hotels were huge, just like Vegas. You know, I followed the tour for quite a few years, and then I went independent and started working in the table dancing clubs. That was the first time I seen table dancing, when I was like 22, and I was like, I've got to do it, I've got to do it, get me on that stage, because it was such a break from being in a chorus and being told choreography, and I was just busting to get out and do my own stuff. So once I started table dancing, there's just no turning back, and it wasn't sleazy or anything. It was just another outlet of dancing. Had enough when I was like 27, and I headed back to Sydney and started work here, and the story continues with the pole dance.
Miss Pole Dance Australia has definitely come a long way, and your opening acts are very spectacular. Where do you get the idea for the ideas each time for the themes and the stories that you create on stage?
I'm not really a storyteller. I don't sit and creatively try and work it out. What comes is like I wake up one morning and I'm like, that's it. It just sort of comes. So I'm still waiting for this year's. It hasn't come yet. Normally, like last year, it was choreographed and done by January, you know, and the show wasn't till November. I already knew it. But this year's hasn't quite come, but I think I've been a bit preoccupied with this. So it's just I'm glad each year something new happens, and I wait and I look around me and see who's available and who's around, and then it just comes together. I've got an idea about this year's, but I haven't set it in stone yet. But I just want them to be really different from year to year. I want the audience to go, the opening act has become like as large as the show itself. Yeah. Which is really exciting. Like, so our audience are there on the dot because they know if they miss the curtain coming up, they're going to miss a really important part. So yeah, this year's still in the works, but I'm sure I won't disappoint.
I'm sure you won't either. Last year, your show for the opening act was very sexual, very racy. Do you feel that you're making a statement when you do those types of themed shows?
I really like that type of dancing. I really like it. And if I didn't do that, I don't think I could produce my best work. I am sort of provocative and racy. I just can't help it. That comes naturally to me. And the girls that I work with really like it too. So I'll always probably go that direction because that's just what I'm about. And I don't want to offend anyone or anything. That's just my style of dance. But like last year, putting the drummer in, putting Cleo in drumming.
Amazing.
Yeah, that just added that extra, wow, they're sexy. And oh my God, this girl is a musician as well. And I think I want to always inject that in all the time. So I've got the sexy, I've got the racy, but I also want to show it. I'm always going to stick with that. I'll never leave that.
Speaking of shows, you created a show in Japan.
It's a choreographed pole dancing cabaret show. So there's no nudity, there's no freestyle, it's all completely choreographed by me. And the girls dance on the poles together in sync, 20-25 minute show, and they just cross over costume changes. So it's quite intricate to choreograph with only a couple of girls on stage because being Japan, everything's tiny. So I had to just make the most of this really small stage, but it's just beautiful. It's just so glamorous, it's gorgeous. And yeah, the girls are on contract over there and perform twice a night.
How does one audition for that?
I need the right dancers. I need the girls with the personality that will fit in to the Japanese culture because they're pretty set in their ways. So they have their rules. Girls I can rely on, girls that are sociable, and girls that can follow choreography, obviously. So it was a hard process to find the right girls for it.
So I do have a personal question. It's not too personal, but do you feel that people are intimidated by you because that's sort of word on the street? Bobbi is a little intimidating. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I hear that too, and I don't know why. I'm so not intimidating. I just think it's because my name is on the title of our pole school, and we've got lots of pole schools. So they must think, well, she's the owner, she's the boss, she must be up here and doesn't want to talk to the little people or something like that. And I'm so not like that at all. So I think it's just that Chinese whips. And probably I'm a clean freak. I like my studio clean. Pick that up, don't leave a mess. So if that's intimidating, that's just me. That's just my personality. So
my boyfriend yells the same things at me too. So and he's pretty intimidating.
I'm not as far as an instructor though. I'm trying to be helpful and encouraging and teach.
Is there anything that you want to add or share with anybody?
I just probably want to share Bobbi's in Singapore and Bobbi's in Malaysia. That how well both studios are doing. Singapore especially, it's only been operating for 2 years and it's just gone crazy. There is a massive following in Asia, and I think that's going to be the next explosion of pole studios over there. They're just fanatics. And they're good and they're quiet and they don't complain and they listen and they clean. The best. So I just want to do a shout out to Singapore and Malaysia and just say thank you so much to Maple and Lina for making the studios a success over there. I'm just so proud. I met them at the right time and I met the right people.
It's amazing. Well, I'm excited to see more and hear more about that one. So
you will.
Thank you so much for interviewing.
Thank you
today.
Thank you so much for coming here. Gosh, I can't believe it.
I'm so happy to be here. So that's it for Pole Dance Live at Bobbi's Pole Studio. This is Annemarie Davies. Be sure to like us on Facebook and don't forget to follow us on Twitter and also subscribe to us on YouTube. And be sure to check United Pole Artists for all your pole dancing needs and up-to-date information on events, competitions, workshops, and studios. Thank you so much for watching. Annemarie Davies signing off on Pole Dance Live for United Pole Artists. Thank you.